Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys a reading today. This one is going to be dedicated to those that may be feeling somewhat stuck on your spiritual journey within your own spiritual development and growth, maybe your life's purpose and mission, your current direction, maybe even in relationships with other people, whether that be your working relationships with coworkers, your job, family, friends, lovers, etc. So at the end of the day, you guys just take what resonates with you and get rid of what doesn't. These general readings are not meant to resonate with every single person that watches them every time, so you do have to use your discernment to figure out what you're going to take and what you're going to leave. So this beautiful orgonite here is created by my friend Michelle from Wing and Bell. It is called the Black Magic Rose Orgonite Pyramid. This is in no way, shape, or form connected to black magic. It was just a fun name that was given to this orgonite. So if that name makes you feel uncomfortable, I would definitely exit the reading right now. So the decks that I'm going to be using here today, some of them are created by myself, some from other readers, and also just other deck creators out there. So as I shuffle each deck, I'll let you guys know what it is, and then everything will be listed down below for purchase. Let's get started. Very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to tap into what spirits are surrounding us and why. So we're going to take a look at that using my Spirits of Darkness and Light Divination deck. Let's take a look. What spirits are surrounding us and why? We have Spirit of the Clover, luck, abundance, and summer. Hey, that's not a negative energy whatsoever. I see Spirit as energy, okay? And sometimes these energies can be around us because of our own energy fields, our own belief systems, what we are attracting to us, okay? So of course, it always just depends on how you see things. But Spirit of the Clover is beautiful. Luck, abundance, and summer. What else? We have spirits of the past, nostalgic, aching, old flame. Okay, so there could be something where we are dealing with some melancholy or nostalgia from the past. Doesn't necessarily have to be nostalgic. It's nostalgic. It doesn't necessarily have to be melancholy. Spirit of the wind, activity, movement, and disruption. Interesting. So let's see why these are coming up. Why are these spirits around us? What is the deal? So I'm going to go ahead and take it one by one. So I'm going to put these over here to the side. Why is Spirit of the Clover with us? We're going to go into, and I don't know how to say this correctly. I think it's called the Mausolea Oracle. Okay, so we have the Leper King. The Leper. Sword of Law. Bravery, self-discipline, and faith. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the Dark Mansion Tarot. We have the Lovers. So there's definitely something here, especially with this old spirit of the past coming through, that has to do with a choice with something. This is called the Essential Oil cards. I am stuck. You guys, I feel like what's happening here is this is about someone in your external environment. So this is not you, this Leper King. You might, of course, feel like a leper, like somebody is not wanting to open themselves up to you. This is a loving lovers type of romantic situation I'm getting here. And so somebody is stuck. That's the thing. Somebody is stuck. So this person, instead of feeling like they are filled with possibility, they actually feel stuck. Perhaps they feel like they're being self-disciplined. They feel like they're being brave by protecting themselves, by protecting their heart space, by not letting you in. This says, allow yourself to float up above any thoughts or emotions and see what is needed for you to process them and move forward. I feel like somebody is not able to process what they're feeling and move forward with you. So there's something about Spirit being with us. And I do see the Lovers as there's usually an angel in that card, which there is in this card, but the third figure is coming up as another person. So there's 3 people here. This could, of course, be love triangles, third-party situations, things like that. Maybe you feel like you've been discarded. Maybe you feel like you have, like you're the leper in the situation, or somebody is keeping themselves away from you, and it feels very harsh. It's a harsh energy with that leper king is what I'm seeing here. Spirit of the Clover, though, is telling us abundance. Luck and abundance and growth come from not allowing somebody else's behavior or choices to affect us. Use this as an inspiration. So now the keyword comes through. Don't get stuck on this person's indecision or their choices right now. Really allow yourself to become inspired, to move forward and to grow. Luck is on your side when you open yourself up to the possibilities of the future. So I'm getting here, depending on where you're at in the world, right now where I'm at in the States, it's winter. So then we have spring and summer. This to me is growth. This to me is possibility. This to me is just laying in that field and nourishing yourself and being really grounded and feeling really good and knowing that you are filled with possibility. If this person cannot see the possibility, perhaps, of this connection, if they can't see the possibility of the 2 of you coming together, or they're not choosing you and they're choosing to stay guarded, they're choosing to stay stuck, allow this to be your inspiration to move forward with your own life, to detach, to let go, to not involve yourself if there is a third-party situation. If somebody has chosen someone else over you, take that as a sign that you deserve better, that you deserve more. Have faith that things do happen for a reason. Sometimes people do not choose us because it is not meant for us. So there's some kind of message here about choices that people are making for themselves, that you do have a choice here. This choice may feel like it's been made for you by this person, but really, they're not choosing for you. You're choosing for you. You can choose perhaps at any time to pull away from situations that don't serve you. Maybe situations that we're stuck. Maybe somebody is totally content, as in that leper king is totally content to be stuck between you and another person. And you know damn well that's not happy for you. I mean, you know damn well that's not making you happy, for one, but it's not good for you either. So you're filled with possibilities. There's other possibilities to be happy rather than to stay attached and stuck in this unsatisfactory situation. Again, you guys, if that does not resonate with you, this may not be your message, okay? Now, the Lovers can sometimes just indicate choices, period. Making a choice. And sometimes we may want to make a choice based on how we feel. But with this leper king, we have somebody who's very much using their logical, rational mind to make decisions. There's a lot of discipline involved in this decision. And the decision may be that perhaps you are better off making a decision based on your rational, logical, practical mind versus your emotions. You might be stuck in your emotions. You might feel like, oh my gosh, because you feel so much about something and you stay stuck because you're emotionally tied to it. But Spirit is saying perhaps it's time for you to take your sword and basically lay down the law and say no more. So really this can all be combined with the same message, or it could be, just a little bit of everything. But depending on where you're at, because I think if it's winter here in the other part of the world, I think it's summer. So the thing is, wherever you're at in the world, this message could apply to you. This is about choosing to be happy right now. This is choosing to be in the energy of summer. Summer is very warm. It's a happy time. The sun is shining. The sun is life. We're feeling alive. Not for everybody, especially if you're in the scorching sun of Arizona, where I'm at. But anyways, there's just something about that sunny energy, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel alive. It gives you energy. So to me, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening here, you're being given the opportunity to take that sword and make your own decisions. Sometimes we give power over to other people. And that decision that's perhaps seems like it's been made for us, it's not law. You can take that sword and make your own decision. That's what it is. So you're making your own choices. You're not allowing someone else to make choices and to keep you stuck, because really no one can keep you stuck. You can only keep yourself stuck. So now we have spirits of the past. So if the fact that the Lovers just came up, and the fact that we have the spirits of the past, we could be talking about an old flame where we're aching or nostalgic for the way things used to be. So let's see what this has to do with. We have the Traveler. Keeper of the crossroads. We're at a crossroads, perhaps. Maybe we know we need to move forward. Maybe we know we need to move on. But maybe we're having a difficult time with this. Two of Wands. Yeah, we're at a crossroads. That's the Two of Wands to me. We know that we need to make a decision. We know we need to make a decision here. And expansion. Okay, so I am not enough. Okay, we might be triggered. And it doesn't always have to do with other people, but usually we are triggered because of some energy that's coming from someone that triggers something within us. Somebody from your past, maybe somebody that you're aching for, somebody that you wish things could be different or things may change. This may bring up this trigger that you're not enough. And you might be waiting for someone. You might be waiting for someone to make a decision. This could be connected to the first set of cards that came up. You might be waiting for somebody to make a decision. And so what this is doing is it's keeping you at a crossroads. Actually, it's not. Let's change that statement. If you love yourself, you're not waiting around for anybody. You see that? I love myself. The fact that this person may trigger this in you, that you're not enough, that you're not enough to take a risk for, that you're not enough to take a chance on, or whatever's going on with this leper king. This is telling me here that when you start to realize that you have more, like when you start to value yourself more, and you gain that self-worth and that love, you love yourself enough to know that you are enough. You love yourself to know that you are enough. So this person may be a part of your healing, or other people, other experiences, or external to you, may be a part of your healing, but it's not meant to keep you in the past and keep you stuck and keep you at this crossroads forever. You're meant to break this pattern. This to me is like a chariot's energy. You're meant to move forward. You're meant to move past this. You're meant to heal. Okay, so it says here, expansion. This person is also, this experience is meant to help you expand. But expansion is about growth. You're expanding on your horizons. So it says, your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it. Exactly. You're meant to experience a miraculous life. The only person that can hold you back, you guys, is yourselves. This person isn't holding you back. The belief in getting stuck in that belief that you're not good enough, that because somebody is rejecting you, or they didn't choose you, or they didn't love you, or whatever's going on here, to continue to stay stuck in that feeling of I'm not enough, it will keep you stuck in life. You're meant to expand beyond this. You're meant to grow from this person's either rejection or them not being able to show up in ways that you may want them to show up for you. So you see this woman, she's like on this tightrope. She's trying to balance here, not fall off. So you love yourself enough to no longer do this balancing act. You love yourself to move past this and no longer hold on to things from the past that are holding you back in your life, holding you back from the love that you actually deserve, the miraculous life that you're meant to live. It's very, very beautiful. So that is that particular message. Let's go into the last one. Now we have Spirit of the Wind, and this is activity, movement, and disruption. So let's see what this is about. Ooh, Abaddon. This is like death for me. Overload of the abyss. Corruption. Malice. What I'm getting here, you guys, is that what seems like a problem or a challenge, what seems like a negative thing is actually a blessing. What this is doing is it's actually lighting a firecracker under your ass to move forward and to heal and to let go. So sometimes things happen to us for a reason, and sometimes they come cloaked in darkness. But it's supposed to. It's supposed to get you to a point where you can transform and let go and face those fears and face those shadows, those shadowy aspects of yourself. I feel like maybe some of you guys have been triggered by someone specifically for a good reason, and it's for your own healing, growth, and development. So they have disrupted your life. They've come in, they've disrupted your life, but they've disrupted your life for a reason. Why? It's because it's giving you an opportunity to move like the wind, to transform, like this perhaps tower moment, this lightning that just comes into your life and just disrupts it. It's supposed to. It gets you thinking, it gets you going, it gets you maybe even awakened for some of you. But now we're supposed to do something. Let's create some activity off of this. Let's not stand around and just mope and ache for the past. The past is the past. We're meant to go towards other expand. I don't know why I couldn't follow that. I mean, I couldn't finish that thought. We're meant to expand uncharted waters. We're meant to open ourselves up to new things. That's what it is. So let's go ahead and get some final messages on that. I love it. And you're gonna. Six of Wands. Six of Wands to me is a victory card. You will victoriously beat this. You will victoriously get through your shadow. You will victoriously get through this dark night of the soul, if that's what this is. You will victoriously move past this energy. Okay? However, it has been disrupting your life for quite some time. If it has, if you've allowed this person or this indecision or treatment or confusion, shadow, whatever this is, to disrupt your life to the point where you weren't really even participating or living in your present life, this is about ready to change. I need to fix this. That's the trigger statement. I need to fix this. I need to go back. I need to figure out a way because I don't feel like I'm enough. People that love themselves don't fight against things. They don't fight to change things, especially with other people that don't want to change. True statement. I am willing to learn from this. You see, I'm willing to learn from this experience. I don't need to fix this person. I don't even need to fix myself. I just need to love myself enough to know that this doesn't feel good to me. This doesn't feel good to me. So I'm going to spend more time soothing myself and being in soothing type of an energy that feels good to me, rather than being in this disruptive energy field. Some of us may be addicted to that type of love. We may think that this kind of up and down, back and forth love is true love, but it could just be some sort of a emotional, or what do they call that? Trauma attachment, not trauma bond. I've been talking a lot about that lately, but trauma attachment is a little bit different. It means that we have attached some feeling from our past or unresolved issues from, let's just say, our childhood, and we've attached it to a person because it feels very similar. It feels familiar to us. That's what we think is normal. And you could have attracted this person into your life in order to clear that trauma attachment. Yeah. So this is telling me that you're going to learn from this rather than trying to fix this and trying to change things that you really can't change. The only thing that you can change is yourself. So it says, lift yourself above your life situation and observe it as a witness. Understand that you are so much more than this story. You see? Your life is so much more than this person and this story and this pain. We can, as people, take something or someone and give it so much power and so much significance. Something is only relevant if you give it relevance. It is. Something is only powerful and important if you feed it every day. When you start to starve something, such as an addiction or a habit, you realize how much power it doesn't have over you, how unimportant it really is, how at the end of the day, it really isn't that big of a deal. And then we start to even realize that maybe we've just made a lot of this stuff up in order to soothe ourselves. Sometimes we adopt fantasies. Sometimes we stay stuck in a fantasy because it's very soothing to stay there. It's very soothing to stay in a fantasy of what we wish would have happened with someone, or what the potential could have been, or what could have been. It's easier to stay in that energy than to perhaps accept that something is over, to accept that maybe someone just is who they are. Maybe that person is just dark. Maybe they just really are that narcissist that we always thought they were. Sometimes that realization is hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. And sometimes we soothe ourselves with fantasy-based thinking, or thinking that, well, this person really does love me, but they just don't know it, or they just don't realize it yet. Okay? And that could be perhaps the case for some. But is it helping you? Is that thought helping you? Is that way of thinking helping you to move forward with your life, or is it keeping you stuck? So that's really what it boils down to. It's not about being wrong or right about people. It's about how is it making you feel? So if it's not making you feel victorious, if it's not making you feel like you're alive and you feel stuck and it's disrupting your present life and activities, it's time to let that shit go and abandon. And I know that doesn't say abandon, but that's just what I'm getting. Abandon this dark abyss that we just keep falling deeper and deeper and deeper into. You can victoriously crawl out of this hole that maybe you have been falling in for quite some time. When it comes to this person, when it comes to this trigger, when it comes to this wound, whatever this is, Spirit's saying you can change this. You can start being an activist now with this healing and change that you want to bring into your life. I love these cards. It's so beautiful. It tells an amazing story. So it does have something to do with our past, and it has something to do with that if we really, really choose to blanket ourselves, we can experience abundance and growth in this life. But as long as we're hanging on to the past, we're going to just keep going further and further into this abyss and staying stuck at a crossroads and not really moving forward. And we can take these lessons with us, and we can learn from all of these things. We can soothe ourselves with the lessons rather than continuing to stay attached to something that may not be true. And what may not be true is that you're not good enough. You believe that I'm not good enough because of the way that something or someone made you feel. You believe it, but it's not true. We also may believe that somebody is something that they're really not. This person's a really good person deep down, and we're just connected to that. And maybe they're just not. They're not a good person, or they're just not choosing to be a good person in this life. And sometimes our practical minds need to step into the playing field and say, yeah, no, this fantasy of this person that deep down they really love me and they're a good person, and one day they'll come swoop back into my life and save me and we'll live happily ever after. Sometimes that way of thinking isn't going to help anyone, because it may not be true and it may just be unrealistic, honestly. So it's time for us to lay down the law and just say, no more. No more. And I might even be pronouncing that incorrectly, leper. That might not even be the way that you spell, leper, like as in leprosy. Actually, I'm not sure. But the way that I'm seeing this is that it's like the leper king keeps himself at bay from other people. But also this is about disconnecting yourself from people that are this empty, that are this broken, that are this avoidant in life. You can't change this person. You may want to. All the love and light that you may want to send to them, I'm getting here may just be at the end of the day a waste of your precious energy and time. It doesn't mean they don't deserve it. You know, you may have unconditional love for this person and you may just send them that, kind of like wish them well, like you don't wish them ill. But continuing to stay connected to this person in a way is keeping you stuck. Okay, it's keeping you stuck is what I'm seeing here. It's keeping you stuck. So these spirits are around us right now, and these energies are available to us in order to help pull us out of this dark abyss that we may have been stuck in for quite some time. Whatever that means to you guys. So anyways, that was a long intro, but that's what we have. So where are we most stuck? I kind of feel like we just went into that, but let's go ahead and dedicate a couple of cards to this because I did write it down. Where are we most stuck right now? This right here is my twin flame journey shadows. Where are we most stuck on our journey? We have faithless. This right here is my Mystic's Midnight Oracle. All right. Immediately what I'm getting here is that we are faithless, that these darker energies, okay, somebody who is just tormenting our thoughts, somebody who is maybe perhaps done some negative things, hurt us in some sort of way. We might be faithless that they'll be able to ever change, that they'll return, make wrongs right, or that they'll get theirs, meaning that karma will some way have its way. We feel like we're never going to be able to let this person go is what I'm getting here, or this past situation or this past wound go. We're faithless that we're going to be able to ever finish up this chapter, that we're always going to remain tormented or connected to this hellion, this beast, this demon. Yeah, look at that. Two of Wands again. We feel like we just want to escape this. We just want to run for the hills. We don't even want this energy anymore, but yet it still remains. We feel shackled to this past memory because it's bullshit, because there was corruption. You know, that's why I said that at the very end. Some of you guys might be waiting for this person to get theirs, to learn a lesson, to see the light, and they're just not. That's why it's very important, you guys, instead of wasting your energy on this individual, you've got to just try to cut your losses and move forward. They may just be this type of a person in this life, as in that's just who they're operating under this energy. When somebody is just empty, refuses to see the error of their ways, refuses to see how their behavior impacts other people in a negative way, there's really nothing that you can do to change that type of person. They're going to have to go through their own personal development and growth. They may have to go through certain losses. They may have to go through other spiritual transformations. But it usually doesn't happen when we're looking or when we're waiting on it or we're wanting it. That personal development can sometimes take an entire lifetime or maybe many lifetimes. But we're not in control of that. We're only in control of ourselves. So the longer that we wait for this justice, the longer that we wait perhaps for this person to come back and say they're sorry, to make these wrongs right, we're actually just keeping ourselves stuck. So we're only as tormented as we allow ourselves to be. That's the message. So that's where we're most stuck, is on the injustice. It's not fair. It's not fair that this person did this to me. It's not fair that they continue to act this way and get away with it. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. You're goddamn right it's not fair, but it is the way that it is. And the only thing that you can do is just basically change the way that you, in a way, connect to that energy field. So let's just say the things that piss you off, the things that you see. If you're watching somebody on social media every single freaking day and you're continuing to see them live their greatest life, which, let's be real, they're probably not, because it is social media and anybody can do whatever they want on social media, project anything that they want. But let's just say you're falling for it. Let's just say they are getting married to someone else and they're experiencing all of these wonderful things. I mean, who am I to say that maybe they're not happy? Maybe they are. All it's going to do is just going to further confirm for you that it's not fair. Life isn't fair. It's not fair that they get to be happy after they did what they did to me, and I'm not, and I'm left with all the broken, empty pieces. So my point is, if you are engaging in that behavior where you're checking their social media, or you're asking friends about them, or you're continuing to have conversations about them, all you're doing at this point is you're plugged in to tormenting yourself. You are giving this energy field power every single day that you stay connected to it. So some examples with disconnecting is get off freaking social media. Do what you can. Do what you can. Have an accountability partner. You know, somebody that might be going through the same thing, and you guys just say, hey, you know what, we vowed that we're not going to check on social media, you know, and you're honest with each other. Maybe perhaps you don't have to get rid of it forever, but just disengage from social media, like deactivate your accounts, not forever, you know, deactivate your Facebook, maybe even do that with Instagram. I believe you can come back. You're just temporarily taking a break. That's fine. Nothing has to be final. Or maybe even get rid of friends that are connected to this person or this situation. Sometimes that's just what you need to do. You need to take care of yourself. Also, this could be music. Listening to certain music can really be triggering. It can really connect you to a storyline that you've had playing over and over in your brain and psyche. And it could just keep restoring and revamping and re-energizing the energy field that you have connected to this person. So stop listening to that playlist. Stop listening to that particular band. Stop listening to that particular song. Don't torment yourself with this. Because what it's doing is it's further activating this belief system that it's just not fair. And I feel, I don't know what this was connected to. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a different reading that I had done earlier, where it was just very much about don't waste your time on revenge. It's not going to get you anywhere. Don't waste your time on revenge. It's not going to get you anywhere. This right here is from Aqua Moonlight. This is the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle. Yeah. Where we're stuck is that we're waiting for an opportunity to have a second chance with this person. Now, no one can tell you whether that's going to happen or not. So I'm not here to say it's just not going to happen, just forget about it. But waiting for this, putting your life on hold, not moving forward with your life because you're waiting for this person to return. You're not able to open up any new doors in your life. You're staying stuck. You're staying stuck in this energy here, right? Grim Reaper is telling you it's time. It's time to move past this. It's time to let this go. Let the universe take care of it. You're not in control of this. You're not in control of the lessons. You're not in control of the karma. The universe is. As long as you continue to hold yourself hostage to this past, and I believe that's why the spirits of the past came up in the reading. As long as you're waiting for the second chance with this person to make amends with you, it may, and you're not feeling good, and you're on personal hell waiting for this. It is that's an indication that it's time that you probably should let go for your own well-being, right? So you might be losing faith that this is ever going to happen. And the thing is to continue to hold on to this faith that this person can change, or this person will change, or that they will come back. Again, we can't control other people. We can't control when they'll change, when they'll wake up, when they'll do the right thing, or if they'll do the right thing. So the last thing that you want to do is continue to put your life on hold waiting for this. So for whatever reason, this is where we're most stuck right now. If you're watching the reading, we're most stuck on waiting for this person to return, waiting for this person to make these wrongs right, finish up this business with this person, or waiting for the justice that we deserve. There's no guarantees in life. So why not carry on with your life anyways? Okay. So This is definitely a shadowy reading. I knew it was going to be, which is why I'm using a lot more of like the shadowy types of cards. But if you guys are really feeling stuck and you're identifying with some of these messages, I hope that they are at least helpful to you. So that now that we've gone through kind of all that stuff, we're going to go into what can you do to start helping yourself? What can you do to start helping yourself now? Now that we've established where we're stuck, what spirits are with us and why, how can we go about helping ourselves and healing? So we've got the Twin Flame Journey Tarot that I created. We also have the Mind and Body Makeover cards. We have my Divine Feminine Healing cards, as well as the Power of Surrender cards. So let's see. What can we start to do to heal? How can we help ourselves moving forward? All right, this one wants to come through immediately, so we're going to get that. So we have healing sadness and anger, and healing sadness again. So healing sadness comes up 2 times, and also healing anger. So we may have some healing and anger. We may have some anger and sadness that we do need to work on healing when it comes to this situation or this person. So let's just take it one at a time, okay? One at a time. So this deck, it has the upside down and the upright. So let's go ahead and read the upside down first. People tend to control me and make demands. I feel like this is really important because, again, it is a belief system that other people are controlling us. Other people are controlling how we feel. Other people are triggering us. And so we feel that, it's their fault. They're doing this to me. When really what it is that they're triggering something within us, and that's something that we're supposed to address within ourselves. So this says here, I skillfully act on my ideas and visions, and I free myself from emotionally distracting influences. So this is the deal. Other people are meant to be in our lives in order to help us, and they do this by triggering us and affecting us and maybe even inspiring us. So whatever is coming up for us, because it does say anger. If somebody is making you angry, do not get distracted by this feeling. Do not get distracted by this energy. Okay? Continue to focus and act on your ideas and visions and free yourself from this distracting energy. So it did come up. We might be pissed off and angry that somebody is still not apologizing. Somebody is still not making these wrongs right. Somebody is just moving on and carrying on with their life, and they're seemingly happy when we're still miserable. It's not fair. Don't get distracted by this anger. Instead, heal it. Heal this anger. Because this anger is only holding you back. It's certainly not holding your person back. Your person is continuing to still perhaps move forward with their life. Now, will they be able to free themselves from the karma? No. But the thing is, you continuing to wait for things to pay off isn't really going to help you. So, no one has control over you except for yourself. So that right there, don't distract yourself with thoughts of anger. Don't distract yourself with thoughts of revenge. And don't distract yourself with thoughts that this person is doing this to me or controlling me, because they're not. Might feel that way, but it's not true. 3 of Pentacles. I like this a lot because this is the, to me, other people card. 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is the people that are in our environment that we are working with. This is teamwork. Takes 2 to tango. It really does. It takes 2 to tango. And I'm getting on the bottom of the deck. This was a part of your evolution. This situation, this person is meant to help you, to teach you. They've come together to collaborate with you to, let's just say, trigger this response within you so that way you could heal this. Don't distract yourself because of this wound or maybe this contract that you guys may have. Instead, refocus on you and continue to act on your own ideas and your own visions of what you do want for yourself. Don't get stuck in this trap or this abyss of sadness and this abyss of anger connected to this individual. Alienation. The act of isolation stems from a fear of intimacy. Don't take this behavior personally or try to force anyone to open up. I think that that's incredible because there is an energy that is connected to that leper king. That leper king is someone who wants to alienate themselves. They just do. They want to alienate themselves. They fear this intimacy. Now, they may not be alienating themselves from other people. It could just be you. There could be something that you trigger within them. So they could be alienating you. And again, we could be taking this very personally. We could be feeling not good enough because of this rejection or this alienation that this person is presenting in the situation. You can't force them to open up. Remember, you can't force this person to change. You may need to alienate yourself from them. You may need to walk away and disconnect from this person rather than continuing to try to collaborate with them and work with them and fix this. Remember, that was one of the cards that came up. One of the cards that came up was this. Let me get it. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. No, you don't. You need to learn from this. Be willing to learn from this situation. You can't force this person to open up. This person simply does not want to open up. Okay, they do not want to open up. At least not right now. It doesn't mean ever. It just means right now. So what do you need to surrender or surrender to? Surrender the stress. So that you could be under a lot of stress when it comes to this situation. And the thing is sometimes, and it's interesting because the very bottom of that deck, surrender unhealthy relationships. Sometimes we're told in certain communities that we need to stay connected to this person. We need to stay connected to this person because this is a divine connection. It's a divine union. But does it feel divine to you? If you are suffering and you are feeling low and you are feeling just maybe even suicidal over this person, how is that divine? Okay? Very easy to slap labels on things because we want people to be, we want this person to be this or we want this person to be that because we don't want to let go, things like that. That doesn't apply to all those labels either, just so you know. Maybe some people are really experiencing those types of connections. Who is anyone to say? It's all up to you and how it's making you feel. If you feel like you're being distracted and you feel stressed out and you feel unhappy and you feel unworthy and unloved and all these things, this is how it's triggering this response in you to do something to love yourself, to heal yourself, to embrace yourself. So if you're just busy worrying about this person and obsessing about them, Spirit's saying you can surrender the stress of the situation. Perhaps just by walking away. You can surrender the stress of the situation by disconnecting from this belief system. And that's okay. It says take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension that you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. This is about coming back down from the clouds, coming back down. A lot of people have these connections that are more in like a 5D sense. They dream about this person's coming to them in their dreams, they're meditating, maybe they're seeing or hearing from this person in their thoughts. And it doesn't mean that those things are not real, but sometimes people can get really caught up in that energy and it really disrupts their 3D life. And it really confuses them and it causes them to feel like they just can't really even make contact with reality anymore. And that can sometimes be very, very stressful for people that are trying to navigate their own reality. So Spirit is telling us, come back to your center. Get grounded. That actually just came up in the daily reading today. Get grounded. It's time to shift into a new cycle. I believe the Wheel of Fortune was with that. It's time to shift into a new cycle in your life. So this is telling you that rather than trying to force this person to open up or change, the best thing that you can do is surrender your stress that you can change anybody except for yourself. And really just breathe this out and let it go for now. Okay? All right, so let's go into the second message, which was healing sadness. Healing sadness. Okay, so the bottom of the deck says, I feel rejected by my family or friends. Now remember, this reading Doesn't have to be about a love relationship, a romantic relationship. This can be about any connection or anything going on in your life. So to me, that just encompasses everyone. I feel rejected by this person or this situation. I feel rejected. So it makes me sad. It makes me feel unworthy. It makes me feel unloved. So there is a major trigger coming up for a reason. And how can we heal it? We can heal it in a way by realizing that we're not in this alone, that spirit is here to also help us, right? We might be alienating ourselves. This is another message that's coming through too. We might be alienating ourselves on our spiritual journey, and we're not working with ourselves or centering within ourselves, which when we're centered within ourselves, we're connecting to source, right? We might be feeling like we're trying to do this all on our own. We're trying to fix this and we're not getting anywhere. We're just like treading water. So Spirit is saying, get back to your center, connect with your higher self, which then connects to source. And you're realizing that you're not alone on this journey, and you're not feeling so empty. You're not feeling so rejected or sad, because you're feeling that fulfillment of being connected to source. So when we're looking for that fulfillment outside of ourselves, we're usually going to come up empty. We're usually going to come up empty. So Spirit is telling us here, I now have a wealth of family and friends who make me feel like I belong. See? When we are connected to ourselves and we're centered and we're focused on people that are in our lives, that are supportive, that are loving us, that want to be there for us, we are going to create more of that. What we focus on, we create. So if we're focused on lack, if we're focused on rejection, if we're focused on this one person who does not want to engage with us, we are going to continue to create more of that energy and that story. We're going to continue to give that story power over our lives. Now, when we decide to make that shift and focus and blanket ourselves, and so now this first card that came up in the reading makes sense to me. When we blanket ourselves with this thought, we feel abundance, we feel lucky, we feel growth, we feel good, we feel sunshine, we feel love. Look at how blanketed she is in this beautiful energy. I now have a wealth and an abundance of family and friends who make me feel like I belong. Instead of focusing on this one person that is rejecting me, this one person that can't show up for me, this one person that just doesn't love me the way that I love them. Instead of focusing on that, we're focusing on what we do have. So that is how we can heal. This is how we can help ourselves, is by focusing on what we do have instead of focusing on what we don't have. And this person that triggers us, this person that hurt us, this person that has caused this pain for us to feel like this trigger of all this pain, this one person is meant to actually help us as well. But we might be misconstruing and getting lost in the lesson and getting lost in the abyss of wanting them and aching for them and longing for them and fantasizing about them. This isn't helping us. It's actually keeping us trapped. So Spirit's saying you can be free whenever you choose to be free. You can be free whenever you choose to be free. It is a state of mind. Yep, I just said that. It's our thoughts. It's a state of mind. What you think, you will create. So if you believe that this person has control over you and that you're unlovable and you're basing it on this person's treatment of you, then you will continue to be in that vibration. But if you believe that you have a wealth and an abundance of family and friends and people that do want to show up for you, that do see your worth, that want to be in a healthy dynamic with you, you will continue to create those same types of relationships. Bitterness. Okay. I feel like bitterness came up. I can't remember. I'm connecting this reading for whatever reason with some messages that came up earlier. I think cyanide came up in one of my earlier readings. Anyways, it was bitterness, bitter taste, poor taste. It says, I do not gauge and gossip around. Oh my gosh. before I even was going to read this, I was also going to give an additional thought to the Page of Swords. Not only is this our own thoughts, but sometimes Page of Swords can be seen in today's, like modern times as the stalker. And I did say something about social media. If you are continuously watching this person, stalking them, okay, and very focused on them, and you're not focused on what you do have in front of you, and you're continuing to stay plugged into that energy of lack, okay, this will continue to also keep you stuck. So this says, I do not engage in gossip about others, as to do so only breeds negativity. You do unto others what wow, can I even read what I created? Do unto others what you would have done unto you. Would you want someone else watching your every move? And this is only for those of you that might be doing this. Would you want somebody to be watching your every move, judging you, talking crap about you, and, sharing with their family and friends everything that you're doing on social media? Probably not. So if that's something that you're doing, I feel like this is Spirit's way of, again, reiterating to pull the plug on social media, so that way you're not even engaging and talking about this person. Because if you're constantly plugged in and you're watching them and you're thinking about them and all your thoughts are tied up with them, you're naturally going to talk about them, or just even have that conversation with yourself. You're also going to dream a lot about this person too. And you might be so convinced perhaps that these dreams are coming to you because it's coming to you from the divine. It's coming to you from, the universe. The universe is trying to give you messages about this person, or this person is visiting you in your dreams and telling you all these wonderful things. And I'm not here to say that it may be, true or not, but whatever we're obsessing about naturally does start to filter out in our dreams, So how can we even decipher whether or not it's something positive or maybe just a delusion? So the best thing to do is to just unplug from all of it and then perhaps see what happens. Do you still think about this person? Disengage with, like I said, some of the music and some of the things that you have attached to this person. Disengage with all of those behaviors and see what happens. So Spirit is also giving us that message to not talk about this person. Try not to talk about this person with other people. If you are and you have negative things to say, this is also not creating positive energy in your life. It's actually not working for you. It's actually working against you. Your own bitterness is coming through at this point. Talk with your family and friends in a positive way. But I'm getting here just to take this person's name out of your mouth, and to also take this person's energy out of your mind, because it could be unhealthy at this point. This was at the bottom of the deck for you. Now, can things change? Anything can change. Can this person change? Why not? Will they? Who knows? But how does it make you feel at the end of the day? That's what we're really focused on. How is it affecting your life? If you say it's affecting your life in a positive way, that's fantastic. Continue to do what you do. But if it's not, and these messages are resonating with you, which if they weren't, you probably still wouldn't be watching this video, then it is time to pull the plug. See, you cannot fix this person. I don't know how many times this message can come through. You cannot fix this person. You cannot fix them. The only thing that you can do is fix yourself. It is time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. We already went through this. This is why I like to use a lot of different decks, because you'll see on camera how the decks reiterate the same message over and over again. That's why I like to also use decks with some words sometimes, is because you guys can clearly see that I cannot, put my own interpretation onto that. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone. And there's like freaking 50 cards in this deck. For that one to come out with that is just crazy to me. We cannot fix this person. We can only fix ourselves. So if we're wasting time with this idea that somehow we can heal them and we can fix them by sending them love and light and all these things, do it for yourself. Don't do it to fix them. If you want to send somebody love and light, that's because you want to do that because that's what makes you feel good. You're releasing the energy in a positive, harmonious way. You're not doing that to get something. A lot of people are motivated by reward. It's a natural thing. But when it comes to someone else, just because you're doing your part doesn't mean they'll do their part. Do it for you. Don't do it for this person or to get this person back. Okay? All right, last message on this, you guys. Things come easier to others. My mind has always been in the clouds. So it is kind of interesting that we have the Page of Swords with our mind and our thoughts. I am able to see things through a different perspective, and I clearly communicate what I see to others. Okay? So this is about feeling like we have a cloudy mind, feeling like we cannot communicate to others properly. We feel blocked. We feel like we can't perhaps communicate what our needs are. Maybe whatever happened with this individual is helping you to transform how you allow yourself to be treated. Maybe that's why there is so much bitterness here if you do feel that. Maybe that's why there's all this injustice, this feeling of you were done wrong, because sometimes we don't show up for ourselves. Sometimes we don't speak our truth. So really the issue that we have is with ourselves, not this other person. You know, we have that attached to them, but that's not even the situation. We gave up, we relinquished our control to this person, and now we're pissed at ourselves that we did it. So there's something for us to work out within ourselves. So we're seeing it through that perspective that, you know what? I knew this person was this way. They told me that they were this way, but I thought that I could change them. I thought I was the exception. And then it turns out I was not the exception. This person is exactly who they told me they were, right? I just refused to see it. That's just an example. Now we're seeing things through a different perspective, a different lens. You know what? Why did I go down that road even though I knew that it was going to turn out to be a disaster? Why didn't I listen to this person? Why did I think I could fix this individual? What is in me that felt the need to do this? So this is taking accountability for our actions instead of putting the blame on other people. And sometimes when we do that, we take back our power, because if we're giving all of our power over to somebody else by blaming them for all of our problems, we're just totally empowering this person. Totally empowering this person. So. Six of Pentacles. Love it. Equality. Exactly. It takes two to tango. And that really came up already with the Three of Pentacles, right? It takes two. What you put out is like given back to you. What we give is what's being given. And that's not always the case. Sometimes what we give is not returned. But we do have to take responsibility as to, were we giving from our heart space? Were we unconditionally giving? Or did we have conditions attached to it? Did we have expectations? I know I did. I know I thought that this is just a personal story. I thought I was going to be the fantasy girl. I thought I was going to do everything and be everything that this person wanted me to be. Okay? Even though they told me, hey, I got issues. Nonsense. That doesn't apply to me. I'm so amazing and so wonderful. I'm going to be everything that you want me to be, that you're going to magically just fall under my spell, and you're just going to snap out of whatever issues that you have, and you're just going to love me. Did not happen that way. Did not work out that way. And all the signs were there for a while too. And I just continued to just fall deeper and deeper into this abyss. And the thing is, it took me a very ridiculously, and I'm not even going to tell you how long time for me to finally realize some of the things that I eventually realized. And when I was able to see these things very clearly, I was no longer in that victim mentality. I was no longer in that woe is me, or I want revenge on this person. This person needs to, this person needs to apologize, or this person needs to be gone from this earth. I banish them, and, all these things that I was really feeling, at one time. Now, I just really don't care either way. And when I say that, I just feel very indifferent. I feel indifferent when it comes to the energy. I don't feel anything for it. I don't feel hate and I don't feel love. I feel just right in the middle. And it's not numbness either, because if it was numbness, then it would just be, like I would be purposely having to try to push thoughts down. They're just not there anymore. They're gone. They have been transmuted. They're just gone. This energy is gone. And I feel like this is like equalizing, when we come to this realization, when we see things differently, it's like the energy just magically transmutes, and it's just like, ooh, lesson over, lesson gone, done, perfect. I'm done with this lesson. This feels so freeing. It feels so liberating. It feels fantastic. And now what I've learned is to never sell myself short ever again. Now I know moving forward that if you don't speak up and tell people what the fuck you want, then you may not get it. If you're not going to speak your truth, then people aren't going to really know who you are. And if and let's just say you do speak your truth and you do communicate with somebody and you're very upfront, and they at that time decide that they're going to go against that and they're not going to honor it, at least you know that you were true to yourself and that you put it out there. But when we do sell ourselves short and we don't speak our truth, and then people end up hurting us, and we expect that, well, they should have known better, we really can get ourselves involved in just a total mental trap, a total nightmare of our thoughts. And I've done that in jobs, relationships, friendships. I've done it all. You feel like this person just should know. And sometimes people just don't. Sometimes people just don't understand you, or you didn't have that conversation. And so we're mad and we're pissed off and we feel slighted, but we never had that conversation. Well, when you do have those conversations and you do tell people how you feel and they still don't care, then you know that they just don't care. And it's easier sometimes to say, you know what, we're not on the same page, and that's okay. So we can move forward. We can clean the slate. We can clear the energy. Love it. I trust what is meant for me will show up at the right moments in my life. Exactly. And that's a beautiful energy, because this is basically an opportunity for us to realize that whatever is given to us is meant for us, even in the form of lessons, even in the form of things that don't work out. What is meant for you will show up for you. And this also, to me, it is surrendering to prayer. It's surrendering to whatever is meant for me will happen. Now, that doesn't absolve us from activity of making decisions and making moves in life. We do have to continue to co-create with Spirit, right? But what this does is it lets us know that Spirit is there to help us and to support us. And that came up earlier in the reading. We're not alone. We're not alone at the end of the day. It says, give yourself over completely to prayer. See? It says your prayers will be heard throughout the universe, and the answers and support will arrive. So again, look at this. This is like this woman. She is wishing, praying for something, whatever is meant when it comes to this situation, this person is going to come. And if it doesn't, that's your answer. So Spirit, in a way, is saying, hand it over to the universe, God, whatever. And when you do this, you can have that faith that whatever does show up or come back around is meant. And if it doesn't, then you can move, like you're moving forward. But regardless, say this prayer, release it, and then move forward and carry on. Okay? Because continuing to wait for something, wait for this justice, wait for the second chance, wait for something to change, Spirit is saying it is time to abandon that way of thinking. Release it and let it go. Release it and let it go. Okay? We are able to see that what is meant for us cannot be withheld from us. Things are going to show up for us when they're meant to show up for us. And that, in a way, relieves our stress on this journey. It relieves the stress that maybe we've been told, you can change this situation. If you continue to work on yourself, you will get this reward. And I see this a lot in the spiritual community. And I'm not here to say, that's wrong or right. That just doesn't fly with me. It doesn't resonate with me. You can't control someone else with your actions. You can transmute energy. You can lighten energy with people because you no longer have that anxiety in the energy field that exists between the two of you. I do believe that you can relieve some of the repelled energy that might have been once in that energy field, but you can't change the way someone is suddenly thinking about you or feeling about you because of what you're doing. You can't change someone's mind. They have to change their own thinking and their own behaviors on their own. And sometimes when we try to do that, by playing games, manipulating the situation. Sometimes, yes, we can create change that way, but it never really lasts or works out in the way that we had hoped. So when we're trying to interfere with someone else's free will, it usually doesn't work out the way that, it's meant, because it wasn't meant, because it was forced. So when we surrender the stress to the belief that we have the power to control someone else and to fix someone else, this can be very liberating, you guys. It can be very liberating being told, you know what? Don't focus on this person. Focus on yourself. Forget this person or this title or this label. Who cares? Focus on you. Have a good time. Do you. But sometimes there are people that will say, you can't let go of this person. You have to stay on this journey. You have to stay connected to them. You have to continue to send them love and light. You have to continue to do this and do that, so that way you can come together in union with them. How stressful is that? Because when it's still not happening, you feel like a fucking failure. You feel like you're doing something wrong because your person hasn't come back magically, or this divine union hasn't taken place. It can be so liberating to let go of the stress of these concepts that are sometimes being taught in these communities. That if you do this, then this will be your reward. And not everybody falls under those categories. I'm not here to say that those labels are not, true for some people. Maybe they are. But if, again, something isn't making you feel good and it feels toxic and heavy and you're really, really struggling, you've got to pay attention to that. Screw what you've been told. Screw the label. Screw this person. Forget it. It's time to let go and move forward for yourself. Okay? So, surrendering these concepts and these beliefs and the things that you've been told by other people can really be liberating, and it can really help you, because at the end of the day, pray for it, let it go. If it's meant for you, it'll happen. And if it doesn't, nothing lost, right? You're still moving forward. All right, so now we're going to end our reading with continued growth and lessons for our ascension that will continue to show up on this journey for ourselves. So we're going to go into the Self-Care Cards by Cheryl Richardson, the Samhain Seasons of the Witch Oracle, the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, and my Charm Cards. Continued lessons for our growth and ascension. We have courage. Take the leap. Your courage will see you through. It is time to take a leap of faith. That also came up in today's daily reading. It's time to start a new cycle. It's time to turn the wheel. You have what it takes. You have what it takes to do this. We have spoon, which is hunger. We've got to feed ourselves at the end of the day. We might be starving. We have bottle information. We also, ooh, look at this, information and message. We might be starving or hungering for that message to come through with this information that can help us to move forward and carry on. But what I'm getting here, you guys, is that you don't really need anything. You're already ready. You don't. Because again, we could get very hung up on waiting for this message or waiting for someone to bring us some information. But I'm getting here, it doesn't matter what you've heard, what you haven't heard yet. I'm getting here to move forward anyways. Feed yourself. Don't continue to feed this addiction if that's an addiction for you. Don't continue to feed this addiction. Continue to feed yourself. Nourish yourself. We have the Knight of Candles, which is the Knight of Wands. So what I'm getting here with this Knight of Wands is that this could, of course, be a continued lesson with people that fall under the Knight of Wands energy. But the Knight of Wands could be you. This is about you venturing forward with new adventures, with new experiences, having fun, living in the moment. Nothing wrong with that energy. But if this kind of energy is not what you're looking for, and this comes into the form of another person, this could be listen. Listen to the message of this type of person, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is not stable. The Knight of Wands doesn't really stay for the long haul. The Knight of Wands might just be into feeding themselves and not you. Are we going to continue to let people like this into our lives that just take but give nothing back? So there's messages and information that come to you in the form of people's behavior. Pay attention. Pay attention to what people tell you. I know I've learned my lesson in that. Pay attention to what people are telling you. Hey, this is the kind of person that I am. I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in commitment. Whatever the hell. Why the heck would I involve myself with somebody like that when that is everything that I'm about, right? Now I'm with somebody that's like that, but I'm talking about things from the past. Why the hell would I even go down that road? There must have been something in me that needed to go slumming to figure it out. Maybe I was so starved for attention and love that I was just willing to, get with any loser that came along. So, Nine of Needles. Nine of Needles, that's Nine of Swords, you guys. Whew, that Nine of Swords is anxiety, it's fear, it's just mental psychosis, it's not being able to sleep at night. Don't lose any sleep over these people. That's just what I'm getting here. Don't lose sleep over this type of person, if this is another person. It's like the proof is in the pudding with this kind of behavior. So you might have to be tested again, okay? Somebody might show up. Can be any type of person. Family member, friend, lover, coworker, doesn't matter, boss. And you know the signs immediately because you've gone down that road before. It's like disrupting your energy field right from the start. This person's saying something and you're kind of like, oh, do I go along with it and just nod my head like I agree, like everything's cool? Or do I say, yeah, you know what, that's not going to work for me? Remember that card where we're speaking our truth. So if you continue to back down, you don't communicate your needs, you don't bring forth this information, this person will not get the message, and this person will continue to treat you the way that perhaps you have always been treated in the past. But I am seeing here that we have an opportunity to change this cycle. So in the future, our continued growth and lesson will be around how we show up for ourselves and how we interact with other people. And are we accepting less than we deserve? Are we misconstruing information? Are we creating stories about people that we want to create because we don't want to see them for how they really are or what they're telling us? Do we have the courage to find the strength to say, yeah, you know what? That's not going to work for me. You're really gorgeous. You're really good looking. You're really sexy. You're really good in the sack, whatever the situation may be. But this isn't going to work for me. Sorry. That takes a lot of strength to be able to decline the Knight of Wands offer. The Knight of Wands can sometimes be very, very sexy and very appealing. But the thing is, no matter how good the sex is, it ain't going to last. It ain't going to last. and you know it. So I'm just seeing that in the future, you're going to be tested through all types of relationships, bosses, family, friends, coworkers, lovers, when it comes to people that are just basically who they are, and you either accept it or you get caught up in this whole thing where it's your worst nightmare. It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to ignore the messages, and it's up to you whether you want to ignore the information. And it's up to you whether or not you want to speak your truth or not. It's totally up to you. Okay? But at the end of the day, we're meant to feed ourselves. Are we still starving? That's to me, that's like the message here. Are we starving ourselves? And I feel like that's why I was prompted to share a little bit of my own story. I was so starved for love and for affection that I went slumming. I went against my instincts. I went against what I knew was right for me and what I really wanted. And I went slumming instead because perhaps of my own fears. So I feel like there's a message here for some of you guys that if you have a tendency and you have an attraction to this type of a person, it's very exciting, right? And that could be that trauma attachment. Look it up. That trauma attachment that you may have to where this person sparks something within you. Maybe a father figure that just, or your mother figure really, that was always on the edge of your life. That feels normal to you. That feels like love. That's the language of love you were given. That people are not really there for you. They're just kind of at the edge of your life. Or they're hot one day and then they're cold the next. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. And you don't have to accept it. But again, if the message that you're putting out to other people, which is, I'll do anything just to be with you, you will be fed exactly what this person feels like feeding you. And if it's not enough, at the end of the day, you guys, it's on you because you did not speak your truth. You did not give the information that this is not what I want. We want different things. So there's a real need to put a final end to this type of behavior. Put a final end to this cycle, because the next card would be the 10 of Swords. And that 10 of Swords is basically saying, enough is enough. It's the end of the road. We're done. Let's be done with this. Let's be done with this lesson once and for all. Let's be done with these jackasses of the past. Let's not recreate this over and over and over again. Yep. Look at that Judgment. It's time. It's time to be done. It's time to review the past, learn that karmic lesson, and carry on. I feel like the Judgment card came up early on in the reading. Did it? I feel like it did. I could be totally wrong. Maybe not. So the Judgment is looking at our past, learning from the past, closing up that chapter, and moving forward. Okay? Let's learn from this. Sometimes the past does need to be resurrected, which is also falls under Judgment's meaning, resurrection. So sometimes things need to be resurrected in order for us to finally put closure to it. So I feel like at the very end, Spirit is saying that this situation, this wound, this energy may arise again. It may come in the form of new people entering your life. But now you have the tools, because that is you. You have the tools and the strength and the courage to face this and say, Judgment is also about making a decision and a final decision and saying, nope, done. Lesson learned, done with these types of people. I see the signs. The red flags are there, clear as day. Not doing it. I got the message. Thank you so much, Spirit, but I'm carrying on. So some of you in the future may run across a situation that tests you once again, but it's for your own soul development and growth. And it is for you to prove to yourself that you have learned and that you have grown from all of this. All right, let's get a final message. Pumpkin. It says, encaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold, to taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. So let me take a look at the deeper meaning of this card, because I feel like there's probably much more to that than I am reading. So we have pumpkin, which is 30. All right. Here it is. Okay. Protection, fertility, prosperity. It says pumpkins have been a tradition for Samhain for hundreds and hundreds of years. Jack-o'-lanterns were carved to scare away the ghosts and goblins that were said to roam the streets of Samhain. Carving jack-o'-lanterns originally began with a variety of root vegetables from turnips to potatoes. Pumpkins became the preferred method for the abundance of space for carving, and there is always plenty left over to fashion into dinner and desserts, even drinks. The pumpkin is more than a scare tool for the witch, however. It is a symbol of protection, fertility, and abundance. There's that abundance word again. The pumpkin represents the power of the womb, which I love. So it's no surprise that its color corresponds with the color of the sacral chakra, and its size is a symbol of prosperity and having enough to go around. I love that, having enough to go around. There's enough to go around. A message did come forward earlier, which talked about when we hyper focus on one person, it's like the most important thing in our lives. There's so much more to life than just this situation. There's so much more to life than this person. But we have given it so much significance that it is now perhaps the most significant thing that's ever happened to us. But what I'm getting here is that when you unplug from that and you realize that, oh my God, there's so many more important things going on than just this person. It is amazing the shifts that take place. It's amazing. It says, you have pulled the pumpkin today because you are protected and safe from harm. There is a presence around you keeping the scary things away from your front door. You can rest easy knowing that your back is guarded. This card is also means taking some steps to keep negative people out of your life. You may need to reduce the amount of time that you spend in some relationships and set some firm boundaries. Doing so will allow you to put your energy where it is needed most. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. This is telling you guys, because remember, the pumpkin was a guide and a protective energy used during the darkest night, or, you know, when the veil was the thinnest, the night of Halloween, Samhain. So this is telling us here that it's protecting us, but it's also protecting us from negative people. You may need to reduce the time that you spend in certain relationships and set firm boundaries. So the very last message is that it all starts with you. The pumpkin is the womb. The pumpkin is your creation center. What you're holding within yourself in your womb, what you're giving birth to, what you're putting your energy towards, how you're nourishing your body. It's all being birthed outside of you. It's all coming out. It's all around you. So your belief systems, your thoughts, the energy that you carry, it's all connected to what you're experiencing. So the more that you spend time in protecting yourself, and by not letting yourself go back over and over and over again. And this is not to say that this Knight of Wands, because I'm a Sagittarius, and in tarot, the Knight of Wands is me. The Knight of Wands is me. So that doesn't mean that it's like a negative energy. You know, I would take real offense to say, oh, the Knight of Wands is always this player, you know, jackass. But it depends on the other cards that come up and the context of the reading. And this Knight of Wands is a player. He is a non-committal person. This person doesn't have to be a he, it can be a she too. But this person is the leper king. This person, these types of people that don't give to you what it is that you're expecting or what you would like to get in return. This type of cycle here just continues as long as you allow to give birth to it, as long as you allow to keep these energies in your womb. As long as you're connecting to this energy and giving life to it, it will continue to show up in your life. That's what it is. So there's a real opportunity to end this cycle, end this karmic lesson, in this battle with this type of, let's just say it is a trauma attachment that you have with this individual. It is healing that from within yourself. So that way you no longer have the need to connect with people in that way. You no longer need these types of people to show up in your life in order for you to heal this wound. This person was enough, I'll tell you that. This person was enough perhaps in this lifetime to really teach you this valuable lesson, that the love must come within yourself and that you must speak your truth. Okay? So anyways, that was a really deep and dark reading. So I'll definitely put probably a trigger warning on this reading. But I feel like if you guys are stuck on your journey and you're stuck within a connection or just a lesson or whatever's going on here, I feel like at the root of it, at the meat of the situation, the story really always comes back to ourselves. And it comes back to what we need to work on within ourselves, what we can do within ourselves in order to start feeling relief and start feeling better. It isn't about what this person's really going to do or what we can do to make this person change. It doesn't really work that way. It's really a focus about why we had to go through this, what it means, and what good we can make of it moving forward. That was the point of this reading. And so I hope that you guys got something positive from that and that it was helpful to you. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.